After years of suffering through news of its troubled production, Solo: A Star Wars Story is finally hitting theaters, and it is certainly a movie. The film isn't anywhere near as subversive as The Last Jedi, but it is a rollicking good time, but it does focus more on fan service moments rather than big twists, although there are still a few of them. Undeniably the biggest though is when we're finally introduced to the guy above Paul Bettany's Dryden Voss, who just so happens to be none other than Darth Maul. Only going by his last name now, the former Sith Lord turns up right at the very end of the movie to confront Emilia Clarke's Kira and tell her that she needs to meet him on Dothmere. He's once again played by Ray Park, who's been out of the game for far too long, and is voiced by Sam Witwer rather than Peter Serafinowicz this time round. Of course, to general audiences, this may be something of a shock, considering the last time we saw Maul was in The Phantom Menace, when the two halves of his body had a rather intense falling out. However, the animated series The Clone Wars, which is official canon lest we forget, did reveal that Maul survived his fall and restarted his quest for power. This led to him forming the Shadow Collective, which is a criminal alliance formed to take down the Confederacy and the Galactic Republic in Maul's quest for revenge against Darth Sidious and Obi-Wan. The character would play a similar role in Star Wars Rebels, where he was once again intent on taking down Darth Sidious and his new apprentice, Darth Vader. On his journey, he met Jedi Kanan and his Padawan Ezra, even going as far to try to corrupt the latter to the dark side. It's a move which ultimately fails him though, and it leads Maul to return to Tatooine in order to have a final confrontation with Obi-Wan Kenobi in order to find a renewed sense of hope and purpose. Unfortunately for him though, it doesn't really go any better than the first time he faced off with him, and he dies once again at the hands of Obi-Wan. The character does find some peace though in the knowledge that there is a new hope, who could that be, on the desert planet. Solo takes place before Rebels though, meaning that Maul hasn't gone through this transformation yet and is in fact still heading up the Shadow Collective, known here as the Crimson Dawn. It's worth mentioning that this collective once included Jabba the Hutt, who just so happens to be the person Han and Chewie are going off to work for at the end of Solo. Maul's appearance is the biggest example of sequel baiting in these Star Wars stories so far, and it means that he could show up potentially in Solo 2 or in Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. That in itself could raise a few problems though. There's no real connection between Maul and Han, and it's hard to ever imagine the pair meeting, but Kira would only ever work in another Solo movie. As for Kenobi, there's no real way to do that unless they're going to retread what happened in Rebels, which admittedly could happen because a major part of the audience doesn't even know that exists. As for other stories, there is a limited amount of time between this movie and Rebels, which doesn't give them all that long to tell a worthwhile story. Whatever the writers end up doing though, Maul is officially back in this movie universe with a new body and a new mission, and there's no doubt that he's going to have a huge role to play in some upcoming Star Wars stories. Whether that's a good thing or not is still up in the air, but I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is Maul coming back a good thing, or is it too much of a reminder of the prequels? Either way, I've been Josh, you've been watching What Culture, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Wow, wasn't that great, guys? I don't know, it's your decision. Subscribe if you enjoyed it down here. Check out more of our content over here, or check out some of our other channels over here. Oh, you better click it before I do. No, seriously, you should click it though.